Alright guys, I'm back. I know that was longer than a brief pause. But I need coffee. My coffee maker is broken. If you all wonder why I went to the store. My coffee maker is broken. I just can't. I just can't. I need it. I needed it. I'm back home now, which is basically where I plan on staying all day. Not because, well, I mean, yeah, partially because of this coat, but it's like there's nothing else to do. That and I just don't feel like doing anything. I just happened to look on my YouTube and see that Todd had commented that I was doing a great job. Thanks, Todd. You rock, man. Like, I don't usually do these posts, to bash people. I just don't. You know, another great reason for living in the United States is that we can all be different. Yes, I'm a smoker. I know. But, so yeah, when it comes to these stimulus checks, from what I'm understanding, is that the IRS completely messed up everybody's stimulus check. Coffee. If you don't know what Stewart's is, I know you're not from New York State. Or upstate. Because I used to work for Stewart's. It's a good company to work for. It is. They have different regions or whatever. Yeah, regions. And, I think the farthest shop south in New York State is Liverpool. Because, shoot, I've met people from Western New York that were like, what's Stewart's? And to me that was weird, and then I was like, oh, right. I think the farthest downstate shop that New York has for Stewart's is Liverpool. But they have shops in Vermont. Like 2, I think. Maybe. But their coffee is absolutely amazing. Amazing. And when I leave New York State, I'm going to be sad. Yes, I'm drinking it out of a straw. But that coffee is hot. But anyways, with these stimulus checks, like, you all know that we have to pay that shit back, right? Like, nothing is for free. Nothing. But, and I get that it's, you know, the stimulus checks were supposed to be for, like, bills and stuff, and everybody's, another thing that I'm seeing on social media is, you know, where, you know, some of the working class, not all, feel that people that are not working, that are on unemployment, getting that extra $600, should not get the stimulus check. Everybody's struggling. I don't care who you vote for. I don't care what your views are. everybody is struggling. All right? Like, nobody is better than anybody else. Oh, God. I just don't, whatever. Again, on social media, if I see something that I don't agree with, I just kind of keep scrolling because, you know, again, people have their own views, their own opinions, and it is what it is. And also with the whole people on unemployment getting an extra $600 a week, so they're making more on unemployment than people that are working. Well, one, a lot of businesses are shut down, especially small mom and pop shops, basically. So they are struggling, and these people that are on unemployment, especially people that own mom and pop shops that are shut down, they need that to be able to come out on the other side of this coronavirus. So stop bashing. And in all honesty, if they were on unemployment before this coronavirus, chances are they were struggling before this coronavirus anyways. So stop being a judgmental prick on who's getting what. Stop. Like, unless it directly, and I mean directly, affects you, like harms your life in any way, shut up. Shut up. God damn. Like, I'm unemployed because of this damn coronavirus. And, like, even when I was working, I was still struggling. But, you know, I know people that, you know, they're still working 2 to 3 days a week and collecting unemployment for the rest of their... Because everybody's struggling. Like, everybody. It's not just people that are still working. It's not just unemployed people. Everybody. Everybody is struggling. So shut up. Mind your business. God damn. I don't get what everybody's curiosity about how everybody else is living. Like, life is not a competition. And frankly, nobody's getting out of life alive. Jesus. Just because somebody lives differently than you do doesn't make you better than them or them better than you. Everybody's struggling. I didn't grow up with the richest parents. My parents tried to give me everything they could, what they could afford, but it wasn't, you know, an expensive vehicle for my 16th birthday. Like, I had to work starting at 14, working on farms to save up money to get my first vehicle. And then I know people that their parents bought them their first car, and that's great. Good for you. Not all of us are like that. Doesn't make you better than me because your parents had money and mine didn't. Doesn't make me better than you because I actually had to work for mine. No. People live differently. It's life. That is life. Like, hello. I'd like to say that I'm a very non-judgmental person. However, there are some things that I just don't tolerate. Animal cruelty, for one. Like, I'm an absolute animal lover, so... But again, even with pets, I train my pets differently than other people train their pets. Some people are like, oh, they're mean about it. Everybody, it's like raising kids. Everybody does it differently. Fuck. Quit being judgmental. There's a difference between being mean with training, or like a harsher with training with your pets, and animal cruelty. There is. And it's the same with fucking raising kids, man. Like, I'm not saying my parents were strict, but let me tell you what, my mama didn't put up with nothing, no bullshit at all. And my dad, he's got 6 kids. He's got 4 kids with his first wife. Me and my brother Vince from my mother, and then Jordan, who's not his kid. It's not mom's kid. He was just adopted into the family when we were teenagers. Like, he came to live with us, and mom and dad raised him like the rest of his high school career, like they did me and Vinny. Like, you go out, have fun, don't be stupid. Know that there's rules, respect people. Like, everybody's different with their kids. And in all honesty, like, I think I turned out pretty well. I've never been to jail. You know, I don't kill animals just for fun. Like, I mean, I hunt, so anybody that's about to be like, oh, you hunt, so that's putting food in my freezer. That's not, you know. That's not raising a deer farm and letting people come in for $1,300 shoot a fucking deer. Like, just for their antlers. No. Let me tell you something. A lot of my friends, they think I'm weird as shit when it comes to hunting. Because, you know, I follow the regulations, you know, and the laws and all that, but I don't spend the money to have any buck that I've shot mounted, have their antlers mounted. No, I sure don't. And I cut up my own deer. Because if I'm not going to pay somebody to have, you know, antlers mounted, like, I'm not going to pay somebody to cut up my own food. I don't shoot little deer. I actually let them live. But my friends think I'm weird because I don't have any of their antlers or deer heads mounted. For what? Like, I hunt to put food in my freezer, not for trophies. But some people hunt for food and trophies. Some people just hunt for trophies. I don't personally think that's right, but hey, it's their life. None of my damn business. Just don't ruin it for the rest of us hunters. If you're literally out there hunting just to be an asshole, like, don't ruin it for the rest of us. Just don't. Just don't. Please, don't. But I'm just sick of everybody judging everybody. And I wouldn't say I'm a private person. I kind of am, though. Like, I don't broadcast my life or what I do or whatever to, like, everybody. You know, my close friends, my close family know usually what's going on with me at all times. But, like when I got my truck, I used to drive a beat-up, kind of, Grand Am. Now, living in upstate New York, we get a lot of snow. I got stuck in my driveway almost every day. Legitimately, every day. Almost every day. Actually, legitimately almost every day. And at that time, I was working somewhere where I had to be to work by 4 o'clock in the morning. And when I say I got stuck in my driveway, it wasn't, most of the time, it wasn't even when I was trying to back out of my driveway or drive out of my driveway. It was getting back in because my driveway is kind of uphill. And I don't care how much salt I put in my driveway, how much sand I put in my driveway after shoveling, plowing, and snow blowing. I even had new tires on this car. New winter tires on this car. And I could not get in my driveway at least every other day without getting basically a running start down the road, hauling ass, and whipping into my driveway and coming up my driveway sideways. So I got a truck. Because one, this car was, I paid $3,000 for this car. And by May of 2019, even before the transmission started going, I'd already put $4,000 into the car. And I'd only had this car for 3 goddamn years. So already I've already put more money into this car than what I paid for the car, and then the transmission started going. And I was like, you know what? Not that I want a vehicle payment, because this car was paid off. It was. Not that I wanted another vehicle payment, but I'm not putting any more money into this damn car. So I said, if I'm going to have another vehicle payment, it's going to be a 4-wheel drive truck. Because this car was the first actual car that I had. My first vehicle was a Dodge pickup. My second vehicle, a Ford pickup. Third vehicle, Ford pickup. Then I got this car. Now I'm back into a truck. But when I got this truck, the first people I showed this truck to was my parents. Because I'm a girl, right? And I grew up in a household where my dad was kind of old school. Like, if you go vehicle shopping, you're supposed to take a dude with you. My dad is a retired mechanic. All right? I know a little bit about vehicles. I do. Sorry. But anyways, so I showed it to my parents. My dad, of course, because I'm a daddy's girl, and I'll admit it. And let my dad look all over this car. Well, then I had to go over and get my nephew, so I went over and got my nephew. My nephew loved the truck because my nephew loves trucks. But my brother Vince drives a Dodge. And the truck he had, the Dodge he had at the time, that was a beastie looking truck. I won't even lie to you about it. My brother put a lot of money into making that truck look sharp. I can tell you that. But I went over to get him, and of course, my nephew is all about whatever my brother's driving, so it wasn't a Dodge. So he was like, it's nice, but you should have bought a Dodge. Sure. My nephew's such a ham. He really is. But, a little smart ass. So, later that day, my brother came over to get my nephew. And of course, my brother had to look over my truck. It's just a guy thing in my family. Like, they got to. And, my brother went all through this truck. And then, like, my brother's kind of a bragger. Like, when he gets something new like that, like, he wants to show everybody that day. Has to. I'm not like that. I'm like, I didn't get this to impress my friends. I got my truck so I, one, had a reliable vehicle, and, that wasn't going to break down on me. And two, so I could get in and out of my driveway in the wintertime. I didn't get it to impress my friends. Well, I got a crew cab. Like a super crew cab, legitimately has the 4 doors. And my brother's like, well, if you didn't get it to impress your friends, why'd you get the... because I have my niece and nephew a lot. That's why. And I carry my fire gear with me. That's why. And because I'm short, and if I'm putting something in my truck, like I don't need it sliding all the way up towards the cab and me having to actually have short girl problems with getting on the back of my truck to get the whatever. He says, well, why didn't you get an SUV instead of a truck? I've driven SUVs. They're not for me. They're not. A lot of people like them. I know a lot of my friends have SUVs and they absolutely love them. They're just not for me. Then I haul some of my buddies' wheelers and stuff sometimes. So instead of having to monkey around hoping that their trailer lights and everything are all working, just put it on back of the truck. Let's go. Yes, I'm smoking another one. But my brother's not like that. My brother, when he gets something shiny, like he's got to show everybody. I didn't. I showed mom and dad. I went over and got my nephew. I came home. I didn't go up to Natural Bridge to show my best friend of 25 years. You know, I didn't go over to Adams Center and show my other best friend. I didn't drive up to Lyons Falls to show my other best friend. I just didn't. So it is what it is, but I'm not a bragger like that. But, you know, some of my neighbors who I legitimately feel just like to get drama started, gossip, whatever. Let's see, the first rumor was that I had a boyfriend that bought me the truck. I didn't have a boyfriend at the time when I got the truck, so what else? And then the other rumor is that I only bought it to keep up with my brother Vince. No. I bought it because I wanted it. It was reliable. It was 4-wheel drive. It was up higher off the ground, so I'm not pushing snow with it. Because my thing is, why am I going to make payments on something that I don't like? Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Anyways, so when it comes to judging everybody, stop. Just stop. Like, mind your business. Who cares? Unless it directly affects you. Shut up. There's a protest happening in Watertown today. Oh my God, I've only been hearing about this goddamn thing for 2 days. I'm not a protest kind of person. I get that it works sometimes, and and it's people fighting for what they believe in, and like, good for you, man. Like, all right, do what you gotta do. You do what you gotta do. I am not a protest person. I have other things that I could be doing. Like I said, I'm in the process of moving, so I have a whole house that needs to be packed up, cleaned out, cleaned. Because I'm not one of these people, and again, to each their own, but I'm not one of these people that I'm going to leave the place that I'm renting in a bad way. So when I get everything out of here, I'm going to deep clean this house. I did it the last time I was renting a place. I'm going to do it this time. Shoot, even when I moved out of my parents' house, I deep cleaned my bedroom when I got all my stuff out. It's just who I am. It's just me. But, I have other things that I could be doing. So on social media, here we go again. Social media. Where I think it's okay to express your opinions and your views. Just don't be upset when some people disagree with you. And if you sincerely hate that these other people have different views and opinions than you, why do you have them on your friends list? Because clearly, if you can't get along on social media, you're not going to get along in person hanging out. Now, I post things on my Facebook to make people laugh. Not to upset anybody, not to offend anybody. But if I laughed about it, I'm going to share it because chances are I have at least 5, 6, 7 other friends on my friends list. They're going to get a kick out of it too. And I like to make people laugh. I just do. Who doesn't like to make people laugh? You know, don't be serious all the time. You know, and in all honesty, even with this pandemic going on, like, have a sense of humor. Legitimately. Or you are legitimately going to be miserable the entire time. Like, your life is spiral. I get that. Everybody's life is. Everybody's struggling. But have a sense of humor. So anyways, with this protest, from what I'm understanding of this protest, is that it's basically just a group of people that are also going to be practicing social distancing that they're going to be riding in their own vehicles and driving from one end of Watertown to the other end of Watertown. Alright. Everybody's got their own way of protesting, I guess. Whatever. It doesn't directly affect me, so knock yourself out. But they're basically trying to send a message to New York State Governor Andrew Cuomo. To open regions of New York State. Because the standards for New York City shouldn't be the same standards for different, upstate New York, blah, blah, blah. I see both points of views. I do. I really do. But, on social media, I'm seeing a lot of all these people are morons. These people are clearly Trump supporters. Oh my God. It reverts all right back to Trump, I guess. And it just kind of, for a little bit yesterday, I'm reading some of these posts, and it's just, I'm kind of just speechless. I'm just kind of like, wow. I had a lot of friends on my Facebook that were sharing it in support of it and possibly participating in it. And then I have people on my Facebook that are, clearly, obviously Trump haters, and that's their opinion, their view, that's what they believe, whatever. That are absolutely bashing this protest. Why? They're not walking down the sidewalk in a group. They're not knocking on your door. They're not yelling at police officers. It's a peaceful protest. They're not even going to cough on random people. It's a peaceful protest. And again, protests are just not my thing, but I support them. You think you got a shot at making a difference? Knock yourself out. To each their own. It is what it is. But just because they're doing it doesn't necessarily mean that they're Trump supporters. I'm sure a lot of them are, to be honest with you, but calling them dumbasses and they're going to be spreading COVID-19. And these are some of these people that are bashing this protest, saying this, are still working. So you're getting in your own vehicle to go to work. You're basically doing the same thing. Like, what? Jesus Christ. Sorry for anybody that just offended, but good Lord. I don't get it. I don't. Sorry, y'all got to witness my back fat there. I'm kind of a hefty girl. I is. When I say kind of, I mean I's a hefty girl. And what was the term that was used to me a couple weeks ago? Pleasantly plump. I ain't heard that phrase since I was in high school, so I was just like, ooh, flash from the past, man. All right. Pleasantly plump. Whatever. But this one post, so I'm seeing, for all these people that are bashing this protest, I'm seeing just a bunch of Trump supporters. But the one that really made me giggle yesterday, and I mean, like, giggle to my core, because I was like, I felt like that I was dumb, maybe, because I was just like, that was, what? It basically said, not even basically, I'll even try to quote it as best as I can remember it. These are nothing but dumbass Trump supporters. These dumbasses are dumb, riding in their vehicles spreading COVID-19 like dumb Trump supporters. Like, I get the point you were trying to make. What? Huh? Oh, God. Oh, my goodness. Holy bless. Who cares? You don't want to see this protest? Like, don't walk outside. Especially when you're the one screaming like everybody needs to stay inside. Well, then practice what you preach and stay inside. Don't watch the protest. Again, it's a peaceful protest. I don't think there's ever been a protest that's been convenient. Like, I get everybody's like, oh, why would they do it during the pandemic? Again, I don't think there's ever really been a protest that's ever been convenient for everybody. But that's the great part about living in the United States, is like we have the right to protest and stand up for what we believe in and all that good horse shit. And just because you don't like the idea doesn't make you inferior or superior. Like, it's a peaceful protest. Like, who cares? Big fucking deal. I just saw, sitting here in the last 34 minutes, I've watched 7 trucks go by with American flags on them. Window signs, I think one said something about listen to us, Cuomo. I saw another window writing that said this upstate New York is not New York City. Like, this is not this protest is not a Trump re-election rally. This Trump is literally, this Trump, sorry, I am so sorry. This protest is literally towards Andrew Cuomo. Like, they're trying to get Andrew Cuomo to listen. And again, I feel like Andrew Cuomo gives zero shits about upstate New York. Again, just my opinion, my views. I'm sure other people think differently, and that's okay. But, like, you just kind of, like, you read some of these posts, and, you're like, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, in all honesty, I kind of gave up on doing, like, keeping up with, the politics side of this coronavirus. I really do. I have people in my life that I pray every single day that they don't catch it. My mother, for example, has a lot of underlying health issues. All right? If my mother gets this coronavirus, with how bad that it is said that it is, my mother will die. However, I've also heard of people in our area that have actually tested positive for it, that didn't have any underlying health issues, that have fully recovered from it. Like, it really just depends, Like, I have asthma, so if I get it, I'm probably going to be a hurting unit for a bit. My mother gets it, she could die. Straight up die from it. Another thing that I kind of just, I don't know, again, my opinions, my views, think is kind of messed up about the whole thing is, so I had a relative die a few weeks back. He had a heart attack. He's an older relative. He passed away from a heart attack. I'm not kidding you, folks. On his death paperwork, it states that he died from a heart attack, but also from COVID-19. He didn't have COVID-19. So why is that on his paperwork? And I get that, from what I'm understanding, and I could be wrong, but from what I'm understanding, is that the more cases and deaths of this COVID-19 you have, the more government funding the state gets. Now, let me tell you what, New York State is just one big red spot on the map. Especially New York City, and I get there's a lot of people that are actually dying from this COVID-19, and I feel so bad for their families and friends. And, I have friends that live in other states that are like, I'm pretty sure, Val, that if you came down here, you'd probably be booted as soon as they found out you're from New York State because of this COVID. So New York State is just a big red spot on the map. And we're not the only state that's just a big red spot on the map. There's a few other states in the United States that are just big red blotches. But in all honesty, I don't know. I guess I just don't know how to feel about this COVID-19. Like, I get that it's serious, and I do understand that. I do. But I don't know. Maybe it's just not. I personally feel like it's not as serious as it's being made out to be on medias, the news. I do personally myself believe that this is just a big power trip for all the politicians. Because, I mean, I could be wrong again, but I kind of got the impression that everything's, as far as individual states, are being left up to the governors and senators and whatever of the states. And, I mean, that's whatever. But I don't know. I guess I just don't quite. I don't have a firm standing on how I feel about this COVID-19. Like, I like to do my own research. I'm not one of these, oh, well, he said, so I'm going to go with him. Well, no, she makes more sense, so I'm going to go with her idea. No. I don't have a firm standing myself on how I feel about this COVID-19. I just don't. And that's okay. I'm still taking life day at a time, trying to keep a sense of humor. Not judging people because of, you know, if they're on unemployment making an extra 600 or you know, still working and getting a stimulus check. Like, I don't. That's just me. But I will probably post later because I also had some news brought to my attention, not about the COVID-19 thing, but that I kind of want to rant about later. But I've been talking to you about this for 42 minutes now. Most of you probably won't even finish watching this video, to be honest with you. But, alright, so I gotta get some stuff done around the house anyways. So I'll talk to you guys later. I start calling you guys fam. It just happens that way. So have a good day, fam.